Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40k Universe. I am your host Gershwin, and today we're going to be talking about orc tribes. We're going into the Snakebite tribe. So without further ado, let's get into 40 facts about the Snakebites. The Snakebites are a well-known tribe or clan of orcs who still follow the old ways of the orc race, and often remain feral orcs even after they gain access to more advanced technology. They are considered to be a backward tribe by many more technologically advanced tribes of orcs. The Snakebites are usually weathered, beaten, and as tough as old boots. They are experts in the field of breeding orcoid creatures, and their grots and squigs are the fiercest amongst the green-skinned tribes. Snakebite's clan name comes from a tribal rite of passage that requires the young aspirant to get bitten by an extremely poisonous serpent, then sucking out the venom to prove his resilience. Orcs of the Snakebite clan build up a powerful immunity to natural poisons and keep various species of snakes as pets. They always carry a selection of venomous beasts with them when they migrate to a new world in case the local variant of snakes prove disappointingly benign. The Snakebites have a reputation as the finest breeders of gruts and squigs amongst all clans. Their runt herders breed the fiercest, toughest, and most easily buyable stock. So great is their prowess at breeding that only Snakebites possess the skill and knowledge to breed and mix this special feed for the terrible squigots. These massive squigots and ferocious grots come in extreme handy in battle, as the Snakebites favor a fast, savage front assault backed with grots armed with all manner of crude melee weapons. The more sophisticated weapons that fall into the hands of the Snakebites usually find their way into the hands of their grots, as the runts of the tribe are left to figure out how they work. The Snakebites are also known to be a wandering clan that rarely settles in one place for long. They only stay on a planet long enough to get into a fight, and then they're off again. Imperial scholars have speculated that this clan may be the last remnant of the original ancient clan culture, before they made contact with the rest of the galaxy. Snakebites often drive their orcoid beasts to war before them, counting on overwhelming their enemies with squigs and even squigots so that their boys can reach the foe. Noted Snakebite war boss Heroclix enslaved his entire population of his old stomping grounds, the binary system Corva, forcing his captives to build him a starship that would accommodate his beloved collection of wild animals. Heroclix set off for the core worlds of the Imperium. He conquered the 9 shrine worlds of the Marselect and used the Basilica as a breeding pen for his squigots. A notable snakebite breeder is the snakebite Bogrot Bones. He served in Gruk Face Rippa's Red Wall. There were huge numbers of snakebites in the Red Wall, but none meaner than Bogrot Bones and his pet gargantuan squigoth, Stompy. In battle, Stompy lived up to his name, trampling entire companies into the ground under his bulk, often oblivious to the mayhem it was causing. The small-brained beast could only concentrate on one thing at a time, and was easily confused. Bogrot Bones would yell and paw, trying to goad it into going where he wanted, though Stompy, often seeing something shiny, would thunder off into a random direction. The huge monster would either turn the tide of battle inadvertently or cause a carnage amongst the orc hordes as he crashed through his own allies. One example of this occurred on Cybele 3. Stompy broke open the fortress when he spied the shiny medals on the chest of the fort's Imperial Guard commander. The officer was waving and yelling at his men from the top of the wall, unaware he was leading the squigoth to his position. Stompy headbutted its way through the wall and gave chase to the terrified commander as he ran up the 7 tiers of the fortress, trying to close gates behind him and ordering men to cover his flight. In the end, Stompy cornered and pulverized the officer in the heart of the citadel, as thousands of orcs poured in through the breaches he had made. Known as the bearer of the Great Club, Grok the Mighty is the chieftain supreme of the Snakebites war clan of feral orcs on the jungle world of Kongara. When the infamous orc warlord Godskull Thraka's mighty great Wog prepared to embark upon the mass exodus toward Octarius, Godskull had an inexplicable urge to visit the verdant planet of Kongara in a nearby star system. Strangely tattooed and bearing unusual piercings, the primal orc greeted Godskull as if he were a god. After a ceremonial beast hunt, Chieftain Supreme Grok the Mighty pledged all his warriors to Godskull. It was truly a specter to see cyborg riders, squigots, and hordes of orcs with wild squig hair boarding the void ships of Godskull's great fleet ready for battle. Grudbolg was the stubborn warboss of the Snakebites on the world of Urk. When Godskull grew to prominence upon his primitive world, no warband on Urk could hope to stand before his sweeping onslaught. Only the stubborn attempted to stand apart from the rise of the green-skinned champion. One such stubborn fool was Snakebite warboss Grudbolg. It took a long, bloody solar week to subdue the Snakebite under Grudbolg, and Godskull was forced to decapitate the scarred old monster twice before finally winning his loyalty. Zodgrog Warsnaga was perhaps the greatest runt herder in history before being expelled from the warboss Ughard Duffgrunt's charges. His extremely fundamentalist band of Snakebites who rapidly rejected the use of advanced technology. After the expulsion, Zodgrok traveled the galaxy and learned several ancient orcoid techniques to create Gretchen, who possessed a more aggressive, intelligent, and sheer ferociousness than any other of their counterparts. He named these Super Runts. Zodgrod is now hired by orc warbosses who are particularly desperate to make use of their super runts in battle. When Bork rampaged out of the Ghoul system and into the Eastern Fringe, the Wormkiller tribe came with them. Filled with alien trophies and covered in scars, this Snakebite tribe earned their name, killing Tyranids. Runt herders tell tales of how the tribes were hunting through the jungles of some remote world when they came across a great fleshy spore encased in glistening amber. Dragging it back to the orc fleet, they cracked it open and hundreds of clawed serpentine Tyranids spilled out. The Snakebites hunted the creatures, taking great pleasure in the fact that they seemed to grow rapidly. And no sooner had you bashed one that another one appeared in the vents or drains. Before long, the orc kill cruiser was infested, and most of the other tribes on board were killed. Only the Snakebites survived in the weird Tyranid jungle their ship had become. By the time the infested cruiser drifted into a star system, the Snakebites had finally killed most of the Tyranids on board, having learnt the best way to crack them open and smash them up. Covered in Tyranid trophies and using alien claws and talons as weapons, they joined up with other clans, calling themselves the Wormkiller tribe. Having had so much fun hunting the Tyranids in space, the tribe had kept some alive and released them on the first world they came to. While the rest of the orcs bashed the human inhabitants, the Wormkillers made sure that the Tyranids had time to multiply, so they would make good hunting. By the time the orcs had torn apart the humans, they found themselves overrun by Tyranids, and gleefully turned their attention to their new foe. Since then, the Wormkillers had spread Tyranids to dozens of worlds so they can have some good fighting wherever they go. Snakebites gather into specially large mobs, whose lack of Shuda is more than made up for by their assortment of heavy, blunt objects. Snakebites are extremely tough and rely on their innate resilience and the distraction of countless charging orcs, squigs, and grots to keep their adversaries from cutting them down with fire as they close in for melee. Orc snakebites prefer muted earth tones, with an emphasis on greens and browns, with dusty yellow and white highlights. Orcs of this clan are covered in swirling red tattoos like coiled snakes. They are also known to cultivate hair squigs so that they can decorate themselves with extravagant crests and top knots. Snakebites' common feature are wolfskin headgear and wolf pellets, which add to their wild and primitive appearance. One of their most distinctive elements of dress are their snake belts, which are fastened with metal buckles in the form of snakes. Some even go so far as to wear live poisonous snakes around their waist to show their toughness. The Snakebite's clan symbol is a venomous serpent, typically green on a yellow banner, and they like to show off their venomous serpents, hides, and furs as they trundle extravagantly into battle. And those were 40 facts about the Snakebites. Now please comment down below and tell me what other orc clan you guys would like to hear about. If there is any other topic of Warhammer 40k lore that you would like me to discuss, please comment that down below. Thank you so much for listening. I hope your painting is going well, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. All the people that subscribe, like, share, and do all that good stuff to the channel really help us out, so thank you. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.